Hello viewers, here is another episode of Paztrotech Hour, and in this episode we'll be enlightening you on what you need to know about filling station approval. So our MD is here, our amiable MD. Please tell our viewers what they need to know about filling station approval.
Okay, I welcome you once again in today's episode, my wonderful people. It's very important we talk about approval.
Okay.
You know, many a times our viewers and our followers have been asking what is actually government approval. You know, a lot of people are afraid. They want to know what is government approval.
Okay.
Not like any other business, you can just open it and start selling. But once you come to a filling station, they will tell you, you get approval from here, get approval from here. In fact, that alone has scared a lot of people away from the industry.
Okay.
So now, we want to talk about approval. Well, if you want to start a filling station business, the first thing you have to have in mind is approval. Filling station approval is very, very important because it is something that has to do with life. So that's why the federal government has a lot of regulatory agencies that controls the activities and safety measures that you need to put in place before constructing your filling station.
Okay.
So now, there are many stages of government approval. For example, if you want to start up a filling station business, you come to us, for example, as company, as I told you earlier, that in the other episode, that filling station is a professional investment. You can't do it because you are smart. You can't do it because you know people in government.
Okay.
You can't do it because you are so intelligent. You only do it through professionals.
Okay.
So for example, as a company, if you come to us that you want to build your filling station and you want us to start through government approval, of course, that's the first thing we do. Once we talk with you, you first of all tell us what you want,
Okay.
tell us your budget, tell us the type of filling station you want,
Okay.
tell us the location, because location is very, very important.
Okay.
You know, some regulations that are applicable in filling station that is in urban area is not the same with the one in the rural area.
Okay.
So that's why we ask all these things. Where is your location, and also what's your budget?
Okay.
So once you have finished discussing those first things with you, we now talk about approval. So if we are building for you, what we do is to go for you with your company name, because you cannot use your name and get government approval. For example, your name is Chinwe. You cannot go to government and say Chinwe want to open filling station. No. What they requires is a company. They are expecting you to have a company before you engage into the business. So what do we do as a company? It is our work to lead you through the company.
Okay.
For example, you have company already, but it's not oil and gas company. You have CAC,
Okay.
which is not government approved one for oil and gas.
Okay.
We try to help you. We guide you.
Okay.
We use some of our documents to help you
Okay.
in order to make it at least possible for you to get approval.
Okay.
So now, when we have maybe negotiated and we want to start the work, we start going from one level of government approval to another.
Okay.
Now, you first of all do what is called site suitability study.
Okay.
Site suitability study is the first check. There will be a check on that land. And the agencies that handles that mostly are town planners.
Okay.
Yes, you know, you can't build filling station without the approval from town planning. So when you meet you go to the state town planning office, you apply, they will send their men through your application,
Okay.
and they will go to the site, which is called site sim,
Okay.
or site suitability study.
Okay.
They will go there and check the environment, the suitability of the environment that will enable a free business
Okay.
to know if that place will be approvable. So not only the town planners, departments, or town planning, you also talk about the, before they call them DPR, but now it's like a wider body now. There are some other agencies that they are not affiliated with. So you can call them DPR, which we normally call, or other agencies.
Okay.
Now I cannot begin to call all of them here. I don't have all the documents here. So now when they come, you go to the state office. It's a federal agency, but they are in different states. Where some states don't have it. They, from one state, they will cover another. For example, from Ebonyi State, from Enugu State, the DPR office covers Ebonyi State. Now in Anambra, they have their office at Oka. In Asaba, they also have their office. In Benin City, Edo, they have their office in Benin City. They have their office in some states. So, Aba, they have some offices. So now they will come. You will write to them. They will come for site suitability studies. If it is approvable, they will now ask you to proceed with the process of getting all the requirements. When you are approvable, when the land or the site is approvable, the town planner's office will also give you a list of recommendations, things you need to get. Yes, some of them is fire service reports. You get fire service reports. You get police reports. EIA, environmental impact assessment. They will come to conduct the assessment based on the land to know if the land is conducive for the construction. A lot of requirements will be provided. When you come to DPR and other federal agencies, they will also demand some of these requirements. They will also now make sure that you have a functional company, a company that is registered with the name of oil and gas. It's not for you to register a company with vegetable name and you are coming to use it for oil and gas. So there must be a kind of provision for oil and gas in your CAC. It's very, very important. So now when you have passed through those levels now, which ordinary person cannot just go. You need a company like Paztrotech and other companies that are in business. Because before you will finish one office, you have already made mistake. So now, there are some certain things that the DPR will require. There is an average size of the land where you will build your filling station. And also, town planner's office, there is also adequate size of the land, a particular size of the land. Now, the DPR will also check the distance. It's very, very important. Before they will approve you for construction, they will first of all come and measure the distance between your filling station and another filling station. There are some required measurements. Why are they doing like that? Because it will be a state calamity if one filling station, maybe God forbid, they have fire accidents or incidents, and if the fire will burn from this filling station, it will enter another filling station. It will be a state calamity. So that's why they try to maintain some distance. They'll try to tell you there is a required distance, and that's the work of our company. Before we even go to the agencies, we will come and do our own assessments and now guide you to the agencies. So now, it's not easy. You have to spend money, you have to pay. But it's not so big that you cannot do it if you are determined. Yes, at least if you are working that through the company has some way of helping you to get it easier. So now, when you have finished getting all this approval, you now talk of stage by stage monitoring and approval. Now, you will start with digging of your tank. There is government requirements for you to dig your tank. It is expected that there will be a particular measurement and also safety measures that will be applied. So after your tank, there is also a kind of check on the kind of tank you want to bury. Yes, DPR and other agencies will try to know the strength of the pan, the suitability of the pan, the quality of the pan you want to bury, and how you want to bury it so that it will not cause hazard. So when you have passed through these stage by stage investigations, or they will come to your site for invigilation. So when you have passed that, when it is the time to build canopy, they will also come to your site to make sure that you are putting the canopy in a way that it will give free access for in and out. In filling station, that's what you call in and out. When the vehicle is coming, you have a way to go out to avoid collision. Because what we avoid most in the filling station industry is collision. If you if you don't plan it well, there will be the adequate kind of distance between one canopy, the leg of canopy, and another, and also distance between the fence of the filling station and the way the canopy begins, the in and out. So some of these things are taken care of, because if you don't give enough gap for navigation, there will be a collision. So these are some of the requirements. Before you start building your canopy, they'll come and mark it and give you the actual measurement based on where you are building your filling station. So finally, when you have passed through that level, now you will be given what is called SSA. That is, we'll give what is called ATC, Authority to Construct. Once you have that ATC, it means that you are free to start constructing. But that is not automatic approval, but it is to some extent 90% of the approval. Because when you have that ATC, what it means that we have investigated, you have passed through some checks, and your engineer is qualified, the site is qualified, the materials are qualified, there is adequate safety measures, and now you can proceed to build. So now they will still be coming to monitor how you are building. So when you have finished all the building, you have finished flooring, you have finished everything, and you are about to, start up your filling station business, they will give you certificates that will enable you to be a filling station owner. That is the last stage. They will now give you DPR license. That is the license you will hold as the owner of filling station. Once you have that license, you are truly, in the eyes of government, certified to be owner of the filling station, and also in the area of safety. Because tomorrow, if there is an accident, the first thing the government will require is your certificate of license. You are certified, has the DPR certified this your filling station qualified and fit to operate. So once you present that license, what it means that we are standing for you. The agency will be like, we are standing for you, that you are qualified, your station is qualified. There are a lot of safety measures. And once you have that DPR license, you are free to start selling. So that's the little we have to tell you about license. But don't be afraid because of all these long processes. It is our work. You just be sipping your cup of coffee, enjoy with your family. Just pay us. Give us work. We know how to do all these things. Your work is just to make sure you mobilize us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I don't know if maybe there is any way, or maybe your customers or your workers are working in the filling station when you are done with all of these processes. I don't know if maybe there is anybody that will ever disturb you and maybe like telling you that you've not paid for anything or whatever.
Okay, well, when we talk about license, getting a license does not mean that you will not cooperate with other state agencies.
Okay.
Yes. If you, for example, in state level, we have what is called PEDAN. PEDAN is Petrol Dealers Association.
Okay.
Yes, it is in different states of the federation. So before you start operating any filling station, you must go to the state office of PEDAN to register as a member, and they will also give you their own certificate as a member. Okay. That is what will make you to belong to petroleum industry in the states. Okay. It is very, very profitable. It is very, very nice for you to belong with them because they will fight for you.
Okay.
It is PEDAN that will now chase away some of the illegal government agencies that may come to extort money from you. Okay. Once you call your PEDAN chairman, for example, I belong to the Ebonyi State PEDAN Association, and our chairman is very, very wonderful. You cannot intimidate marketers at Ebonyi State, because the chairman is always ready to fight. Okay. He's ready to go to the government, and recently he has been negotiating and doing well on behalf of the marketers, and also doing well on behalf of the government. Okay. He's standing at the middle. He's defending us as the members, and also working to make sure that government interest is well represented. So when you belong to a PEDAN, a Petrol Dealers Association in your state, it will be easier for you to do your business without any disturbance. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I want to know the risk. Like, what are the risks that someone can actually take without having that approval? Like, what are the risks building without approval?
Okay, building your filling station without approval is very, very dangerous. Let me tell you, number one is that if you are building without approval, if there is any incident, filling station, I think last year, a man went to a filling station to do a little work inside the underground tank. Now, tank engineer. So now, and when he entered into the underground tank to do the work, immediately they didn't observe safety measures. And yes, You need to observe safety measure. So the man working, servicing the station did not observe safety measure.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the underground tank caught fire. Though it has been a long time they sell fuel there, there is no current fuel. There is what is called dead stock. Dead stock in the tank of fuel is that last fuel that is remaining in your tank after the normal you are finished selling. In fact, while constructing the tank, we always put a pipe, the one that is drawing out the fuel. There is a measurement we will give to it that it will not drain the tank empty. So that place where the pipe stop, the fuel remaining on the ground cannot come up again. It is dead stock. It is always there so that the tank will not rust. So the man went there without safety measures and he was burnt to death. So if the owner of the filling station did not have government approval, you are going to jail straight. No agency will defend you, because once the government comes to the scene of the incident, the first question they will ask is, do you have government approval? Is your filling station approved? Give us your approval license. So that's why it is necessary for you to, once you get correct license for your petroleum business, it will be a kind of hiring the agency to speak for you.
Okay.
You now talk of how to compensate the family, how to pay some certain things, and just get out. But if you didn't have any approval, it is double offense. You operated a filling station without approval. It's going to be a kind of straight to jail and other consequences. So it's very dangerous for you to operate your filling station without government approval. Another reason for you to get approval, or the danger you will encounter if you didn't have approval, is that there will be penalty. The penalty of state governments, if you build filling station without approval, the penalty is demolition. The capital territory, the town planner office, they will order for the demolition of the filling station. Once they discover that you are building without approval, immediately from government house, there will be an order, or from the town planner's office, there will be an order for total demolition without wasting any time. They will demolish your filling station, no matter how much you invested there. The penalty from DPR and other federal agencies will be fine. Yes, they also, their own is even better. They will fine you, but you have to pay heavily. Now, if you are building if you have started building, and you invite them to see that you are building, they will fine you like 10 million naira. They will fine you like 10 million naira. They will tell you, why do you start building without telling us? Who even asked you to build? There will be a fine of like 10 million. That is when we start the process as someone that is already paying fine. But if they come to your station, you have already finished building, you're already selling without approval, that one will go up to 60 million or 50 million. That's why you see some filling station, after building, they will not be selling for. Some of them will be, because when you think of how to give the 50 million as penalty, you feel like, let it be for now. You begin to lobby. Maybe at the end it may reach 30. So this thing is what you would have done before you encounter such problems. So if you are building without approval, there is risk of demolition. There is also risk of severe penalty. Finally, if you are building without approval, it means people that built for you built an illegal structure. How do you even, because no certified contractor or filling station engineer will agree to build for you without government approval. It's not possible. So maybe you want to get it very cheap. Your brother is a mason, your friend is a mason. Hey, come on, build 2 decking for me, build 3 decking for me. Okay, you meet someone that is a roadside welder. Construct this, or you see a tank outside the main road. Come on, put this tank here. Come on, put this tank here. Okay, bring pipe. You go and call a plumber. You go and get one plumber. So join this pipe. Let me start selling fuel. It means that what you build is illegal. And when you play with fuel, you know the consequences. So instead of you to be looking for a smart way to start, it's better you look for qualified engineer. That's why Paztrotech Petroleum Services is here. You come to us, we give you the best, we educate you, and we tell you what to do, and you will go and rest. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, sir, for your contributions. Please, Ba, is there any way of discharging this fuel filling station? like to avoid any fire outbreak of any kind?
Well, discharging of fuel is very, very important that we take safety procedures. Now, when a product comes to your filling station,
Okay.
it's advisable that first of all you stop selling. You stop selling.
Okay.
It is advisable that while you are discharging, no external person should interfere at the territory. Because that is when naked fire, that is when a highly inflammable product is going into underground. And once the fuel is going underground, there is always a reaction. That reaction is maybe you are discharging at night or evening. All the sun that hit the tank environment in the day, the weather was very hot, and you are discharging. There will be a kind of reaction. So what it means is that the inflammable object is coming in contact with underground. So you need to help yourself by avoiding selling fuel at that moment. Because if you are selling fuel at that moment, anything can happen. Number one, if the fuel tanker is navigating up and down, because before they discharge, they will try to navigate and drive so that they will be in a suitable position to discharge. So if they are driving left and right, and eventually they make mistake by hitting any vehicle, it's very, very dangerous. So you need to clear your station, close the station gate while discharging. And it's not good to be selling fuel in your pump while you're discharging. It's very, very risky, because you can actually be selling and your seller or your sales girl or boy will make a mistake. He will hang the nozzle without knowing that it's not properly seated. Out of mistake, it may fall out from the seating and it will hit the floor, and that may spark a little. So it's always advisable that you stop selling while discharging. Now, before you start discharging, it's advisable that you open the tanks, the compartments. You climb on top of the truck and open those compartments so that there will be a kind of evaporation. The air, the tank, the fuel inside the truck will be getting a kind of ventilation while discharging. And also in your underground tank, make sure that the person that constructed the underground tank, that he has vent. Vent is a pipe that is connected to the tank underground. That's why if you want to know how many tanks in a filling station, you count the number of vents. It's a pipe that you normally see standing. Those tanks, those pipes come from underground tank. That is where they get ventilation. So during that discharging, you see that the vent will be busy discharging some vapors, and it's very, very safe. So for you to have a safe discharging of fuel, you have to observe these processes and protocols, and you will not have any problem. Fuel is very, very nice. If you just take care and work with professionals, it's a very nice business. Nobody should be afraid of venturing into fuel business. It's a very lucrative business. Those that follow people that know road, you will not regret it. Yeah.
Okay, so while we were talking, you made mention of selling your fuel, or maybe closing down your filling station in the afternoon where there is heat, to avoid any fire outbreak of any kind. So like, is it advisable to always offload in the morning, or in the cool weather, or in the evening?
Okay, well, let me just come a bit, touch the area you just mentioned. I didn't say that you close in the daytime when it is. No, what I said, during discharging. Understand? During discharging. So when you are discharging, you are to at least observe that protocol. So now, for you to discharge, it's always safe to discharge in the morning hours. When the weather is still cool, when the sun is not out, and also advisable to discharge during evening time when the weather is cool. Most importantly, at night, it's always advisable. But you can discharge in afternoon. Yes, you can discharge, but it's always better for you to discharge either in the morning or in the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So our viewers, I hope you are actually learning. Please share. Very, very important, so that others can learn.
Okay.
So, sir, how can we check and also control the shortage during fuel discharging?
Well, controlling shortages, because a lot of people will always tell me, I'm encountering some such shortages. What will I do? So we'll always say, how can I monitor my tanker driver to make sure that he's not selling my fuel out there? A lot of questions. Well, to avoid shortage, you have to first of all know the processes.
Okay.
Yes. Part of our work, why if you are constructing filling station for you, is to teach you the processes. That's part of our package. So now, when you buy fuel in the depot, Calabar depot, Warri depot, Port Harcourt depot, Lagos depot, and other depots. When you are buying fuel there, they will give you what is called weigh bill. Weigh bill is like a receipt. So after loading your trucks, they will have a kind of measurement with the dipping stick. There will be a measurement like you purchased 33,000 liters. In that weigh bill, it will be written like 33.5 or 33.8 or even 34. It will be written the quantity of fuel, because they normally add a little excess. If maybe you purchase 33, they will add extra at least 500 liters, as the case may be. So they will write it in that weigh bill, and your driver will sign. So what it means is that the fuel that the driver is bringing to your station will be according to the number of the weigh bill. So before you will start discharging your fuel, what you will do is to first of all go for the weigh bill. Give me the weigh bill. The driver will give you the weigh bill. Compartment A is 11,000. Compartment B is 15,000. Compartment C is like 30,000. You use your dipping stick. That is what is called dipping stick. Yes, we have truck dipping stick and the underground tank dipping stick. So now you use your dipping stick and climb to the truck standing in your station. You now dip that fuel to make sure that it is in consonance with what is in the weigh bill. So once there is shortage, you now query your driver. Now, if the shortage is just like 100 liter shortage, 50 liter shortage, you can just overlook it. Maybe it may be as a result of evaporation. Well, fuel do evaporate. But when you now see a shortage that is like 300 liters, 400 liters, it means that something may be fishy somewhere. Maybe the guy have tampered with the products while coming. That's when you begin to query the driver. And you also check the record of the driver, whether he's the person, a kind of person that used to do such thing. Understand? And so, if you dip another compartment, it's going to give you what is in your weigh bill. So now, if you want to now discharge, in order to make sure your fuel is complete, there is what is called underground tank dipping stick. That is what you will use to know the fuel that is remaining in your tank. So in dipping stick, there are numbers, is according to the number of your tank. That's why after burying the tank, we do what is called calibration. Calibration is measurement of your tank in consonance with dipping stick. So that if I pour 100 liters, when you dip it with that stick, it will show you 100 liters. If I pour 200 liters and I dip it with that stick, you get 200 liters. Accurate. So now before you start discharging the new fuel, you go and dip your underground tank. If you have old stock, like 4,000 liters, and you bought 30,000 liters, you expected to have 34,000, right? So now, after that discharging, you use your dipping stick and check. If it is like showing you 32,000, it means that 2,000 is missing. You begin to cry and begin to say, no, I don't believe this. And what they will do is to check your last dipping to know how accurate it is, and to know if the fault is from your tanker driver or your station workers. And so to avoid this kind of shortages, you need to show your tanker driver, your truck driver, that you know the business. You have to show your manager in your station that you know the business. So sometimes, as the marketer or the boss, you come and show them that you know how to dip it by yourself, check it by yourself, do some certain things you can do, so that they can actually know that you know what you are doing. And when a truck driver will discover that the boss knows what he's doing, you'll be so careful. So all these services we render is to our customers. If you are building for you, what we do is to educate you, enlighten you, for you to be able to check your filling station operations to avoid shortage. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, our MD. our amiable listeners, I hope you are actually learning. Please learn and let us join hands together to save our nation worldwide. Our MD, what are your advice? Like, what will you tell our viewers?
Well, it's very, very simple. Contact Paztrotech Petroleum Services for advice, consultations, and other interactive sessions. We also undertake contracts on filling station construction. We service. We do a lot of services. Government approval. No matter where you are, we can get it for you. And some of these services, we render it to our clients. Thank you so much for joining us today. See you next time.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.